with the Investing News Network, and here today with me is financial analyst Jayant Bhandari. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Charlotte.
Of course. We're here on day 2 of PDAC. I wondered if you've had a chance yet to get a sense of the mood at the convention.
There are fewer people than there were last year, although today there has been a sudden increase in crowd at the conference, so I'm not really sure about the mood. What I do remember is that in Vancouver in January, when there was Cambridge conference, there was good mood at the conference. However, it did not necessarily translate into a stock market action. So I'm not sure what this means for in terms of a stock market action, but there are fewer people anyway.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think that many people come to events like this in search of stock picks and investing ideas. What criteria do you use when you're picking junior mining stocks?
What I'm really looking for is a difference between value and price. And I want to put a value on every company that I want to invest in, and I want to see if I can get it at a price that is substantially lower than the value that I can perceive in that stock. Now, it does not matter whether it's in Congo or it's in South Africa, although I wouldn't really want to invest in South Africa today. But really what I'm looking for is that if I think that I might lose 50% of my project in Congo, and I like project in Canada might be worth 3 times more, I might be better off investing in Congo. So it's always the differential between value and price.
Okay, so I know you have an interest in gold stocks. Are there any you're currently watching that you could mention?
I just went to a presentation of a company called Irving Resources. The ticker is IRV, and they have projects in Japan. It's a very speculative stock, but I'm very excited about what they are doing at their projects.
Okay, I haven't heard much about mining in Japan. Is that an upcoming area to look at?
Absolutely. Remember, Japan was almost closed for mining for most of the last century. The reason was that Japanese government did not necessarily give exploration licenses, but also Japanese currency was extremely expensive. Property prices were exploding in Japan, and if some of the people might recall that in 1980s, just the grounds of the Imperial Palace in Tokyo was worth more than the real estate price of the whole of California. So it was very, very difficult to do any exploration work in Japan, but yen has fallen and they have opened up the regime for exploration in Japan.
Great. So gold, we're a couple of months into the year. How are you feeling about gold so far?
Well, I mean, gold hasn't really broken through as yet. And the reason is that it did go up in the US dollar, but it actually fell in most other currencies. It was mostly stagnant in most international currencies. I am very optimistic about gold for 2 reasons. I think we have social political crises developing around the third world countries, and the first world is not doing all that well either. So there is a reason why people want to protect their wealth, and that was the reason why so many people invested in cryptocurrencies. It was the same psychology that led them to cryptocurrencies, but some of these people will come back to gold.
Okay. Can you talk about the appeal of gold in the context of some of the difficulties facing fiat currencies?
Fiat currencies have no backing. So, so how do you put a value on fiat currency? It is dependent on the mood of the people who manage the fiat currency. It gets inflated away all the time. I want to protect my wealth in a way that it is connected with commodities and what I consume in life, and gold is one of the mediums for me to protect my wealth from getting expropriated either directly or indirectly by the government.
Okay, so gold is obviously kind of a standby for many investors, but are there any other commodities that you're interested in right now?
I like all commodities right now, mostly because you see there's one emerging country and there's only one emerging market today, and that is China. China consumes anything between 50 to 75% of all the commodities produced in the world. that means that there is a huge demand underpinning virtually every commodity. And China is currently investing close to $1 trillion setting up the One Road, One Belt project connecting 65 countries. And that will underpin a lot of demand for commodities going forward. They're already doing the construction work.
Sure. Final question, can you share your thoughts on the current excitement about cryptocurrencies and cannabis? I know some people think they're taking investment dollars away from the mining sector. What are your thoughts?
I don't see it that way. There is a lot of cash available in the market. The problem is that the mining industry has actually lost confidence of investors. Mining industry has to seriously do a self-reflection to make sure that they generate a profit and returns for the investors. As far as cryptocurrencies are concerned, I love blockchain, but I don't even understand how you can put a value on cryptocurrencies. Is Bitcoin worth $0 or is it worth $1 million? And I can't put any number on it, so I don't invest in it. But I'm very happy that cryptocurrencies have put a huge amount of fear in the hearts of federal banks that they cannot just keep printing money. People are looking at alternative ways to protect their wealth.
I'm going to add one more question. What should those mining companies